Well, hello everybody. I'm back. Lucky you. Boy, it's been so busy. I should have stayed there. I haven't stopped since I got home. Made a week yesterday that I got home. And wow, one thing after another, I've been so busy, so busy. I have lots to go over today, so this may run a little while. I'll do my best. But you know me, I love to talk. Love to talk. I know many of you wanted to know about my trip, so I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. And hopefully I can upload a couple of pictures here and there, so you can see my wonderful family. So I arrived in Rhode Island on, I have to look at the dates. I believe it was, I don't know, 14, 13, 12, on the 11th. On the 11th of June. My granddaughter's graduation was on June 14th. My voice is hoarse again, sorry about that. The day I came in, I was the only guest there. So that was a nice quiet day. Nice evening. We didn't do anything. I don't remember if my son or daughter-in-law brought Chipotle home for supper, but that's what we had that first day. So I think I'm all confused now. I think that's right. But the next day, Thursday, Mabelle's mother and stepfather arrived. They didn't come in until midnight. I didn't see them when they came in. I saw them the next morning. Her brother Ricky, his wife Carla, and their two babies, Gio and Chloe, came in sometime Thursday. I don't remember exactly what time that was either. And then her brother Stephen, his wife Jardy, and their two children, Camila and Nico, came in like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So they all came in on the same day at varied times. So we were 15 in the house with my son, daughter-in-law, and 2 grandkids. Oh, wow. Boy, I'm not used to that with just me and Grumpy here. Have 15 people all over the place. It went pretty smoothly. Yet hectic. You know, we were all getting ready for graduation. And on Friday evening, Alexis, my beautiful granddaughter, asked if I could fix her mortarboard, her graduation cap, to put pictures all over the top of it. I couldn't believe it. It was in the evening sometime. So I had to do it all that night. And there must have been 50 pictures, little teeny tiny pictures that I had to glue and figure out a way to get them all on here. It was like a collage, I guess. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up here. Oh, that was a job. That was a job. And as I'm gluing all of these pictures, well, first off, I glued them in the wrong direction because she never told me how she was wearing her hat. So I had to take that off, start over again. That was fun. Had to reprint pictures and start all over. Anyway, that turned out to be a big thing on Friday night. I spent a few hours sitting there trying to get this finished and looking halfway decent for her. And as I'm looking at all of these pictures, I would say 90% of them were of her friends. And The rest was family, except me. I was not in one of the pictures. So I called her over and I said, you have your other grandmother in here. You need to get this grandmother in here. I'm doing all this work for you and you don't even have me on here. So hesitantly, I'm sure, she found a picture of us together and printed it out, and it got on that. I was a little concerned. So it's there, I put it there. So that turned out okay. And the next morning, we all got ready and went to the graduation in the rain. Lots of rain, lots of rain. And any pictures I put up for you to see of my vacation that have me in it, I look like garbage because it rained, or it was extremely humid and hot, and my hair was, forget it. So I will put a couple, I'm not happy about them because I look terrible in all the pictures. But I did get Mabel, my daughter-in-law, her uncle was taking pictures of everything. So I didn't have to take pictures because he was doing everything of everybody. So when I got to go through all those pictures and saw them all, ugh. But the one thing I asked him to do was I really wanted a picture of my 3 sons together. I haven't had a picture of the 3 of them together in many years. And of course, my 4 grandchildren together. Then there's a picture of me with my 3 sons, me with my 4 grandchildren, and then pictures of all of us together. My 3 sons, 4 grandchildren, and me. And that made me very happy. That made me very, very happy that I finally got pictures of my family together. A little disappointed that some of the pictures were missing. I had pictures of Alexis and I in her cap and gown. They had a big balloon arch made that they put on the shed in the backyard for the party on Sunday. And I believe there was a picture of me giving her a kiss on the cheek and holding her. And I don't know what happened to those pictures, but I never saw them. They never downloaded or whatever. I was really upset about that. I really wanted those pictures. So graduation went fine. We all went out to dinner afterwards. Everybody paid for themselves because there's no way my son and daughter-in-law could afford to pay for all of the people that were at graduation, and which was perfectly fine. I think it was great that everybody just did their own thing. So that was nice. Food wasn't great. Wasn't great, but I chose what I wanted for myself. So, but it was nice just having everybody together. And I kind of laughed because all the Puerto Rican family was at one table and all of my French family was at another table. Nobody mingled, you know. Yeah, so it was, I don't know. I guess it's like any party, all the guys get together and all the women get together. In this case, it was Mabel's family and then my family. Anyhow, that was fine. That was fine. Then we all went back to their house and got comfy and just hung out. The party was the next day. And it turned out to be a beautiful day. Even though the weather kept saying it was going to rain, 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 it did not. And it was lovely. Absolutely lovely. And they ordered food from University of Rhode Island. There was a restaurant there that did, I forget what the lady's from, Dominican Republic maybe? So it was Spanish food. I don't like Spanish food, so I didn't eat any of it. They did get some things from a local market. I didn't eat a whole heck of a lot that day. I just wasn't hungry, I guess, and a lot of the things are just not things that I would eat. They loved it. Everybody loved it. I picked a little bit at rice and beans, and it was some kind of chicken thing. I couldn't tell you what it is. It was okay, but just not my thing. Nothing wrong with it, just not for me. So that day went really well, and that went until, it started at noontime and went past midnight, I believe. The guys and kids had to get their cornhole tournament in. So that was a lot of fun watching them. I did not play. If I threw a cornhole bag, it would go straight up in the air. I don't know. I just don't have it. I tried going outside one day with my grandson, JJ, to play basketball, and I couldn't throw that ball for anything. The only way I could do it was to hold it down here and throw it up in the air. And then I got a few baskets, but he was fine with it. He was great about it. And it was fun having that time with him by myself. I believe that happened before everybody got there. So I had a little bit of time with him. So once that was over, the party was over on Sunday. Heck, if I'm going to remember what happened day to day, and you don't really need to know what happened day to day. But there was some time I got to myself. They all went out to eat at this place called Iggy's. It's a seafood place. I know it well, been there many times. Or right near it many times. It's right on Oakland Beach in Warwick, Rhode Island. I did not go. I didn't go because, number one, I knew people were going to eat clams. I can't do that. I smell clams and I start gagging. It's true. I do not like clams, the smell of them. Ugh. So I decided to stay home. And someone else stayed home with me. My Belle's stepdad stayed home with me. I think. I don't remember. I think someone stayed home with me, but I don't remember. And I don't even know what I did for food that night. I don't know. This is not turning out so great, is it? I can't remember things. I slept in my grandson's room. I felt kind of bad that he and Alexis had to go into the basement in this tiny little room I don't know if I never went down there because one of my Belle's brothers and his family were down there as well. So I didn't want to invade their privacy, but they were on cots and mattresses, I think, JJ and Alexis. The others were on a pull-out sofa and a big air mattress on the floor. Oh, it was nuts. It was nuts. Ricky and his family were in Alexis's room, which is right next to JJ's room. And I know everybody was a bit concerned that the babies, which were 6 months old and 2 years old, would keep me awake. They did not. They did not. They stayed up so late at night that by the time they got to bed, they just totally passed out. Never heard a peep out of them. So did I, by the way. I slept very well. JJ has a very comfy bed. So that was one thing they all went and did. I stayed home. Probably enjoyed the quiet. Probably enjoying the quiet. There were many times where I sat out on the patio, or not the patio, but the deck, and I crocheted a little bit. I didn't get a whole heck of a lot of crocheting done, as you'll see. It was just too crazy, and people talking to you all the time, and kids running around, and so it was just a bit nuts. So I'm just going to skip a week, and pretty much every day was the same, you know, everybody talking, some people going swimming in the pool. I didn't even bring a bathing suit, so I never did that. The following Sunday was Alexis's last dance recital. She's been with this dance company for 15 years, so ever since she was 3 years old. So there were 5 girls in the senior group that were graduating from high school, and this would be their last performance. That's where I lost it. Didn't lose it at the graduation, lost it at the last dance recital. Because there, I could see her when she was little and I went to a dance recital, or when she was a little bit older and I was there for a dance recital. And here she is doing her last one. That was tough. That was tough. The first dance wasn't even them, and I just heard the music and the tears started flowing. Oh, these are her best friends, so it was really hard for them. A couple of the girls did solos. Alexis didn't want to do one. But after they were done their solos, the rest of the girls would run out and hug them, and they were crying, and oh gosh, it was so emotional. It was so emotional. But it was a lot of fun because it was the little tiny kids, right up to the seniors, you know, and 28 dances, I believe, in that recital. That was a lot. But we had front row seats, so we had a very good view of everything that happened. And I think I have a couple of pictures I can show you from after the recital with Alexis and I. So that was good. That turned out really well. And my son, on the way home from there, stopped off at Caserta Pizza in Providence. This is a very popular pizza place. It's kind of thick, just tomato sauce, maybe a little bit of pepperoni on it. A very Italian, popular pizza in Rhode Island. We had that twice while I was there. So that's what we had for dinner that night, all of us. And then, oh, now I only had 2 more days to go after the recital to come home. On the day before I left to come back home, they all went out for this pedal train thing on a train track. They were going to pedal a train. Those who were left, her 2 brothers were gone by now, so it was just her mom and husband and me. And, oh, and I forgot to tell you, the day after the graduation party, my 2 grandsons, the twins that live here, came over, and they're still in Rhode Island. They were staying for an extra 3 weeks. So we were now 17 people in the house. It was nuts. It was nuts. But it worked. I don't know how we did it, but it worked. It worked. The Friday before that, I was supposed to take my son out for his birthday because his birthday happened. And I said, I'm not giving you money. You don't need the money. I want to spend time with you. I never get to spend time with him. So why don't we go out to dinner anywhere you want, and that'll be your birthday gift. So he made reservations at a restaurant on the water, and don't you know it, the day we're supposed to go, Bill's brother Stephen, they had taken off and gone to Cape Cod for a couple of days. Then from there they were supposed to go to Boston, spend the night, and then fly back. They live here in Florida as well. Well, I guess they didn't make reservations near Boston ahead of time, and those hotels are extremely expensive. And when they found out how much it would be just to sleep there and go to the airport the next morning, they called my bell and said, is there any way we can stay at your house tonight? And we'll go to the airport Saturday morning. That was Thursday. They came in Friday. They came back on Friday, the day my son and I were supposed to go out to dinner. And I really didn't feel it was a good thing for us to go out and for them to be there. It just seemed kind of rude. So I texted my son and said, I think maybe we should postpone tonight with Steven and Jardy and the kids coming back. It just didn't feel right to do that. So he said, all right. So we canceled and never went out. We never got to go out another day. So that was that. But I think what sticks in my mind the most, other than the recital, because that was really, really nice, was I had to go to my sister's grave. My son had said he would take me, but he never mentioned it. So one day, I said to my 3 grandsons, I said, what do you want to do today? Because they were always in the basement playing video games and stuff. So I said, what do you want to do today? I'll take you out for ice cream. They have this great ice cream place not too far from the house. Or I'll take you to Wendy's for lunch. They all wanted Wendy's for lunch. So I said, all right, but we're not going for ice cream. You know, one or the other. So when they were getting ready to go, I realized that the cemetery where my sister is buried is very close to Wendy's. It's on our way. So once we were in the car and we started going, well, picture this. This 73-year-old lady driving this big black pickup truck with 3 boys in it. Anyhow, we're going, and I said to them, I says, we're going someplace first before we go to Wendy's. Where are we going? I said, I'm not telling you. None of them have had experience with death cemeteries. I'm sure none of them have ever been to a cemetery. And I didn't want to freak them out ahead of time. I didn't know how they would react to that. So all the way there, which wasn't very far, they were guessing. Are we going here? Oh, are we going to get this? Are we, and they were guessing and guessing. I said, no. I said, you'll never guess where we're going. So we finally get to it, and there's this big, giant sign at the entrance, Rhode Island National Veterans Cemetery. I believe that's what it says. Big, big, big sign. So I pull in there, and they go, what's this? I said, this is where Auntie Dell is buried, and I need to go to her grave because I was not here for her funeral. Oh, okay. They were fine. This cemetery was so huge. Oh my gosh, it was huge. And I started driving around, and I said, how am I going to find her grave? I don't even know where it is. I don't know. But the last time I spoke to her, a few days before she passed, she told me all about her funeral. And she said, Susie, when you come to see me, it's right near the chapel. I'm near the chapel. So at this point, I was not near the chapel. So I turned the car around, went back, and I said, let's go see if there's anybody at the chapel who can let us know where her grave is. So we did that. We went back. And I didn't see anybody. And my grandson, Logan, I believe, said, Meme, that building over here says there's a map. Maybe we can find it with the map. So that's what we did. We went in there, and they had like a computer screen, and you tapped the screen, and then you had to put in information. And long story short, I finally found the grave with my brother-in-law and my sister. So it had 3 numbers you had to follow in order to find it. So I told each boy, I says, each of you remember a number, because I know I'll forget it. I know I'll forget it. So it was. My sister was right. It was very, very close to where the chapel was. So I had like a 2-minute ride to get down to that area. And the boys went off looking for me, and they found her grave. I couldn't believe it. It was wonderful. So I went over and cleaned off the stone. All the stones are in the ground and not the above ground kind. So I kind of brushed off some grass and a little bit of dirt that had gotten on it. And, talked to her a little bit. And I stood up, and I was just looking, and waterworks. And I knew that was going to happen because I had not cried since she died. And my grandson, Logan, came over and just wrapped his arms around me, and it's okay, Meme, it's going to be fine. And next thing I know, Jacob is there, and JJ's there, and they're all hugging me, and oh, they were so sweet. They were so sweet. And I am so happy that they are the ones I was there with. It just meant so much. They were wonderful. They were wonderful with me. It was a special moment. Something I'm never going to forget. I'm never going to forget. So from there we went to Wendy's. And Dell had told me in that last conversation, she says, when you come visit me, Susie, in June, you need to go to Wendy's and have a vanilla Frosty. Because every time I went to visit Joe's grave, I would stop at Wendy's and have a vanilla Frosty. So I told her, I said, I promise. I says, whenever I go, I will stop at Wendy's and have a vanilla Frosty and toast you with it. And she was very happy about that. So we all ate lunch, and after lunch I bought everybody a vanilla Frosty. And we went out into the parking lot. People must have thought we were crazy. And we all held up our Frosties and said, Tadell, Tadell. And it was really nice. It was really, really nice. So that was a highlight for me. So I'm home, safe and sound. Put a couple pictures here and there. I don't know where yet, so when I'm editing, I'll add a couple little things. But I got home and I had so much to do. I had 3 orders. One did get out while I was up there. I had gotten it ready. I was just waiting for payment, and once I got that, Grumpy could bring that to the post office for me. And I had 2 to finish once I got home. And then I got another order. And then I got challenged twice. Robin, Nottingham Crochet, challenged me to that Instagram challenge where you have to make 5 free things on Instagram. No, I haven't done it yet. I haven't had time. I got 1 thing made, but I'll finish it. And then Tracy from Travel Crochet challenged me to get to know the maker, I think is the name of it. And it's 10 questions that you answer about yourself in this craft. So I have to make those 2 videos. So watch out for those. Those will be coming. Those will be coming. So, bet you're dying to see some plushies and for me to be quiet. So let's get on with that. Let me show you what my orders are. I got them here. And this one's ready to go out any minute. But this was a very recent order. And it is of my Perdue Granny Square chicken. Do you remember him? So pretty. I love that Granny Square. It's so pretty. And he came out so big and chunky. Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? Well, somebody bought him. Now he's got to go away. My Perdue. But I love him. I love him. I don't know if I'll make another one this big. Maybe. Maybe. I think he's so handsome. And I love all white, so I think that looks awesome. And that's ready to go. So Grumpy will be taking that to the post office for me. And one order I've already finished and sent out, and I didn't even take pictures. But it was for a pink rose, a pink tulip, a yellow tulip, and 3 scrubbies. And I know that's stuff you haven't seen, except for the roses, because I put those on keychains. I will for sure be making more scrubbies. I put 3 in a pack for $10. And the tulips, the flowers, I charged $5 each for. So that order went out. She should be getting that any day now. And then I had gotten an order before I left, but I knew I wouldn't have time to do it. And I didn't want to bring a whole bunch of yarn and stuff with me because I knew it would be crazy up there. So I had this order for stingrays. I don't know where I'm going to put this so it doesn't fall all over the place. Let's see if this will work. Not just a stingray, 17 stingrays. 17. So that order is finished. And let's see, she picked colors. So that was good. I didn't have to pick colors. So I made pink ones. I used to sell quite a bit of these when I did the little hotel market. Robin would do 1 week, I would do another every month. But this is made with Parfait Chunky and 10mm eyes. So we made 3 pink. 3 blue. There's so many. 3, one under there, purple, lavender, a light purple. Got them all in the box, ready to pack. And 3 green. Oops, lavender went flying. 3 red. 3 red. Spots show up really nice on red. And 3 yellow. I'm tired of making stingrays. So, gotta pack those up, and as soon as I'm paid, I will send that out. I just contacted her yesterday to tell her I finished it. Oh, excuse me. Choking. Let me take a sip. So what did I make while I was in Rhode Island? Made pickles. Excuse me again. This is a horrible video, isn't it? I'm choking, I'm moving all over the place. Of course, my nose was gonna run because I'm doing the video. So I made pickles because I want to do Christmas pickles because I sold out of them last year. So I have these 3 that are ready. But I have to make their Santa hats for them. I haven't had a chance to make Santa hats, and these are little googly eyes that they have on. So I have to do that. But I have 3 that are ready. 3 that are ready, and I'll show you how I get them, how I sell them. So I make the Christmas pickle with the Santa hat and a pom-pom, and then I put this background. I just tie it on and it tells the story of the Christmas pickle on there. And yeah, I sold them all last year. So I got 3 of these done. There's a second one and a third one. So 3 are finished. I want to make 10 of them. So I got 6. I have 4 more pickles I have to make. And today I made all of the background, or whatever you want to call this. The story, and a pickle will be attached here. And I laminated all of this. It's cardstock, but you know, that's not going to last very long. So I laminated all the pieces so that they would be good and strong. And they wouldn't fall apart. So that is my pickles. Pickles. Then, when I got home, Tracy from Travel Crochet sent me an email with a pattern to test for her. And I was happy about it because I liked it when she showed it to me. Not to me, but when she showed it on her channel. And it was for Leonard the Lobster. And I really, really like this pattern. I like it a lot. Say hi, Leonard. It's feelers. It's feelers. She did a great job writing this pattern, I thought. You know, we all have our own opinions on things, and there are a couple little things that I will do differently when I make it. Nothing major, and I told her about them. And pattern was very, very well written. I believe she released it yesterday. It's on her webpage, so I will put a link to her webpage if you're interested in a lobster pattern. I just really like this. I love how the body is here, and it has big claws. Big claws. What do you think? The tail, I like the tail. I really like this. I really like this. I don't know how many people are going to want to buy a lobster. I guess if you're from Maine, you wouldn't mind having a lobster in your house. But I think he's awesome. You did a great job, Tracy. I'm very, very impressed. I'm impressed with anybody who makes patterns because I wouldn't even know where to start making one. I'll just continue to buy them. So that was my test for this week because I had to have this one in for her release yesterday. Leonard the lobster. Love him. Love him. Easy. Was not difficult to do. Was not difficult. And then I stayed up late last night to finish this. I didn't think I would finish these in time for today. I thought maybe I'd get one made so you could see it. But once I got going, I got going. So I made my fall pumpkins. I love this pattern. I think this is the third year now that I make these for the fall. And it's all popcorn stitches and some single crochet. I use a cinnamon stick for the stem. Then I have this green acrylic yarn that I use to make the leaves and the little tendril that comes down and a little bit of jute to make the bow. And I just like how it hangs down. I don't know, I just love it. And they always sell, always sell. So I figured I'd better make a few. So this was an easy pattern for me to do on the plane. I crocheted these on the plane. And when I did find a few minutes to sit outside at my son's house, I would work on these. The pickles I made while I was there too, but I did those inside at night if they were watching TV because I wasn't interested in watching TV. So I didn't only get one pumpkin made, I got three. So they're all going to look alike because, you know, they're all the same pumpkin. So 3 big pumpkins. Lots of pumpkins. And I love them. And I will put a link. This Southern Gal Ken, I think is the name. It's a tutorial on YouTube that I've been doing. It's very, very easy. Once you do the first couple of rows, you just don't even need to follow a pattern until the end, how to close it and put it together. And she doesn't put leaves and tendrils and bows and stuff like that. She just puts a stem and calls it a day. But I like to decorate it up a little bit. So those are my pumpkins. But out of curiosity last night, after finishing up all of these, I said, I wonder how many stitches it takes to make one of these, because it's work. It's not hard, but it's a lot of work. So for each pumpkin, there are 195 popcorn stitches in one pumpkin. Each popcorn stitch has 5 stitches, 5 double crochets for each popcorn stitch. That's a total of 975 double crochets just in the popcorn. And then there's another 195 double crochets because you put 1 double crochet in between each popcorn stitch. So that's a total of 1,170 double crochets. Then in between you've got all your popcorn rows, but in between you have single crochet. And that's 3 rows of single crochet in between each row of popcorn. And that ended up being 1,170 single crochets, the same amount as the double crochets. I was very surprised about that. worked out perfectly. The numbers came out the same. So each pumpkin has a total of 2,340 stitches in it. Gosh, that crazy? That crazy. So now if somebody says, oh, you're charging a lot for those pumpkins, I'm going to say that's over 2,000 stitches in that pumpkin, and that's why the price is what it is. Plus, I think they're really pretty. So what do you think? You like my pumpkins? I have some new ones I want to try too. They won't be orange. They'll be a different color. But I love my pumpkins. All right, I better go because I'm overtime here. I'm overtime, which I knew would happen with all my blabbing. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope to get my other 2 videos out fairly quickly. We'll see. We'll see how things go. And have a wonderful weekend that'll be coming up. One more thing. There's always one more thing. I've been trying to find a new dentist, which I've been having a horrible time here in Florida. I think I've been to 5. And if I don't feel that they're very trustworthy, which most of them I did not, I don't go back. So I had a tooth that was bothering me a little, and I made an appointment very close to my home because they take my insurance. I didn't have coverage before. Now I do because I switched my Medicare insurance and it includes dental. So I went yesterday. I was there for 3 hours. 3 hours. Not sitting in a waiting room. Sitting in a room with people looking at my teeth. I know I don't have the greatest teeth in the world. They're old. They're old. I have issues. But oh my gosh, even with coverage, just to have my teeth cleaned is going to cost me over $1,000. How nuts is that? And then I have to have a tooth pulled. So I'm going to need a bridge or a partial. I don't think I want a partial. They say it's very uncomfortable and got to take it out and clean it every day. And I don't know what's going to happen with that. But anyhow, I got all of this dental work I have to have done. Now I'm sorry I even went there. Should have just waited till all my teeth fell out. I don't know. Not happy. Not happy. And on Saturday, I had to go buy a new refrigerator. So that was a couple $1,000. The craziness never ends. I'm out. I'm out of here. I promise I'm leaving this time. I promise. Thank you all for coming and watching my videos. I so appreciate it. I really do. I missed doing this while I was away for the couple of weeks. And looked forward to talking to all my friends again. So we'll see you soon. Stay happy and keep crocheting. See ya.